Hi, this is Kim with Mom's Creative Moments. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk a little bit about something that Creative Memories calls fast formulas. Fast formulas are intended to enable you to take a whole packet of paper and cut it in a particular way to give you lots of different specific sized pieces, and then you can play with those pieces and create different layouts very, very quickly. I'm going to show you how that's done and hopefully inspire you to be able to do it for yourself and get lots and lots of pages done in a jiffy. Thanks for joining me. Let's check out my workspace. All right, so this is my workspace for today, and you may have heard of what we're going to do today. And I'm hoping that I can condense it down to just 15 minutes. We're going to have to skip a lot, so there will be a lot of kind of starts and stops to this video. And for those of you who don't like that, I apologize, but there's really no other way to show this to you in a quick fashion without me doing a lot and then coming back and showing you, and then doing a lot and coming back and showing you. Today, with our fast formula that we're going to do, I have a 6-pack of paper out here. This is what we call a mini pack or a half pack of paper. Most of our paper packs from Creative Memories give you 12 pieces of paper, double-sided, which is awesome. This one gives you 6. And typically the half packs of paper don't have an associated embellishment or sticker pack, but this particular one, Shining Moments, does. It came with these two, and you can't really see this one because it's white. The stickers are white. You can barely see them on the camera. Sorry about that, but came with these 2 sticker sheets that can be used with it, which is fun and exciting. So we may get to that or we may not, but just know that those are some cool embellishments that do go with this. They will probably make it onto these pages eventually. If you have this scrap sketchbook that came out last fall, then you will know that it includes what we call fast formulas. And Creative Memories uses has designed fast formulas for each of the size albums that we offer: the 12 by 12, the 8 by 8, and the 6 and the Happy album, which I believe is 6.5 by 11. Don't quote me on that, though. That may be wrong. But anyway, in an effort to not upset anyone, I have created my own fast formula. Today we're going to just do the one for the 8 by 8. It is not the one that's in here, so you'll want to get this book. It has an alternative fast formula for each one of those size albums. Today's is for the 8 by 8. I have 12 pages for an 8 by 8 album on black that we're going to do, which I thought would look nice with the sparkliness of the Shining Moments paper. And here is the fast formula that I designed. So the way you do a fast formula to make your pages quick and easy, and believe me, they do become very quick and very easy, is you make a plan like this, or you use mine or the ones they've created from Creative Memories or another advisor, and you take all of your paper and you cut them all into these sizes. So when we sell a paper pack, it's always, I don't want to say always, but I would say 99% of the time, our paper pack is going to be in a 12 by 12 size. And so you can cut a 12 by 12 piece of paper down into all these different size pieces, and then just take portions of this and put it together to create a multitude of different layouts. When you add in the possibility of punching an edge on one of these or punching both edges on one of these, then the options go up and increase exponentially to what you can do with an album like this. Of course, if you're going to punch an edge, it does add time to the process, but let me show you how we're going to do this. Okay, I have these 6 pieces of paper, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they are all similar in fashion to the rest of RCM papers in that they are double-sided. So we get 6 different colors, 6 different patterns of paper to play with. And if we take these 6 papers, and you could do all 6 at a time, you could do 3 at a time. Just for the sake of accuracy, I'm going to do 3 at a time, but I probably could do all 6. It's just not necessary, so I'm not going to. Okay, you take a stack of papers. This is 3 papers at a time, and I'm going to first do this vertical cut right here to separate out my sections. Because you'll notice I have 3 large mats on the left, and then I have these other sections over here. So we're going to cut, and then we're going to turn this, and we're going to cut that this 4-inch section into a 4-inch square, and a 5-inch piece. And the piece that's remaining is a 4x3. Okay, so just make sure if you're going to do this with multiple papers that your papers don't shift like mine just did, because you want to be as accurate as possible with your cuts. Okay, so here, and I'm just going to make little piles. You're not going to be able to see them all, but I'm just going to make little piles of each size so that I can keep them separate. Okay, so then I'm going to take this pile, turn it sideways. We're going to cut 2 1x8 pieces, because you're left with, this is an 8-inch wide by 12-inch piece. We're going to cut that one, and this one. Now I'm going to have to switch because you know I can't do more than 1 3/4 inches off the side there. Oop. And this one we're going to cut in half to make it a 4x2. So we have our 4x5, our 4x4, our 4x3, 1x8, 1x8, 2x8, and then we cut that in half to make 2x4s, 2x8, 3x8, and 3x8, or 8x3, depending on how you do your measurements. It's supposed to be 8 and then 3. Okay, I'm going to cut the other ones, and then we'll come back and talk about some options for laying these out. All right, so now I've cut all of my 6 pieces of paper into all these different sized pieces, and I have gone through and chosen some different pieces to do these fun layouts with. Now you can choose to do this however you want. You can take whichever pieces make you the happiest, and you can come in here and design your pages to be whatever they want. If you want to follow my examples, you can. This is the cover page, and so just trying to decide, you can go under, you can go over, because there will be words to give this a title. We can do this however makes us happy. We could even turn this sideways maybe, or anyway, you can just play with this however you like. But these are the 2 pieces meant for the cover. I just literally, I just got Post-it notes, and I just sort of designed each page as I went. Whenever you have pages on, or pieces of paper on both sides, I try to keep them similar colors, but you don't have to. You can make them whatever colors you want. If you find that you really like you know, the dark blue or the light blue. You know, make yourself happy. Do what feels good, what you like. Okay, so there's another way of laying this out. I'm just noticing that you really can't see as well as I thought, so I'm going to scoot these over just a smidge so I can scoot these over and be able to show you all of that page together. Okay, so here's that second page, and I'll glue these down and then come back and do a flip through and show you. This second, or this page right here, is actually going to be one of these 3-inch strips that I'm going to take and I'm going to cut in half. So we're going to go to 4 inches. And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to cut them into triangles. You don't have to do this if you'd rather do something different, but this is kind of the way I had envisioned this particular one. And then this would go here, and this one. So this one's a little bit different than I envisioned it, but that's okay. We can do like that. And then there are 2 mats that will go on here, something like that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and lay these out and adhere them to my pages according to how I had designed them, and then I'll adhere them to the pages, and then we'll do a quick flip through in just a minute so you can see how all of it works out. Okay, I'll be right back. All of my pieces are gone. That's a good thing, right? So all the pieces are used, and I'm just going to flip through this really quickly and show you what I did. Now, you can use the same type of a formula each time and change it up, and it will look different every single time. So keep that in mind, because you can go from as simple as this, where you just choose 2 of each size and then make a border and maybe alternate the borders, or you can make them, you know, both going the same way, whatever makes you happy. You can choose to add mats. Here I took a 3-inch piece, one of these, cut it in half, and then cut it on the diagonal, which I think I just showed you right before I decided that it would probably take less time if I just put it together and then showed you. And then I added these 2 mats, but that doesn't mean that there's only going to be 2 pictures on this layout. You know, I can put 2 more here and 2 more here if they're small, just depending on what I want to do. Plus embellishments. So, you know, there's lots we can do. This is 2 more 8x3 pieces plus 2 8x1 pieces, and then a mat. And there'll be other photos on those pages, other photos on these pages. The mats are simply to just add some supportive color to the layout is all. So these are 2 2-inch strips, 2x8s, and 8x1. And then we've got 4 of the 4x2 strips, and then a couple of mats. Again, more photos can fit on these pages. Every single one of these layouts can have, you know, 3 or 4 different photos depending on the size of the photos you want to put on here. So this is 2 3x8s or 8x3s, and then 2 2x4s, and then a mat. This one is again 2 2x8s and 2 2x4s, and then 2 mats. Can you see the variety? Here I just added a decorative edge with one of my blades with my trimmer, This is the Victorian edge, and this is the decal edge. And by putting the lighter paper underneath the darker paper, I think this edge shows up a little bit better. It's not as dramatic an edge as this one, so it's going to be a little more subtle right in here, but just fun. Or you can even punch one. These were my 1x8 inch strips that I put into the border maker and just punched a quick border with them. It just really depends on how much time you have, because every time you add an additional cut or an additional punch, then it takes you just a little bit longer to do. So if you keep them all your pieces, 90-degree angles like these, then it comes together a lot faster, but it's a little less decorative. So it just depends on what your preference is. And then here is my back page. All right. I hope that this has been helpful to you. You can create your own fast formula. Just get a piece of white cardstock, or it doesn't even have to be white cardstock. Draw out, decide whether you're doing a 12x12, if your pages are 12x12 or your pages are 8x8. Decide what types of pages you're going to do, and then start with some basic pieces. So an 8x8 could have one piece that wallpapers the whole page, so that would be an 8-inch piece that's square. And then what can you do around that? A 12-inch page can have many different options because it's much larger, and you wouldn't get mats out of these pages, but you would get a lot of different sized strips and or squares that you could then use to decorate the page. Then you take each of those and do like I did and just make a little sketch of how you think that the page might work, and keep track of how many of each size you're using, so that when you get to the end you know exactly how many of which ones you're going to have left, because you'll have 6 of each one of these pieces that you can play with. And those 6 pieces are double-sided, so the options are just endless. I hope this has been helpful for you, and I hope that it will inspire you to maybe create your own fast formula. If not, you're welcome to use mine, or again, grab one of the Creative Memories Scrapbooking Ideas and Sketch booklets. This one in particular is, I think, no longer for sale, but you can get it if you become an advisor. It's part of the new Advisor Join package, I noticed. And usually we come out with a new one of these. Well, I say usually. For the last 2 years, we've come out with a new one each year. And so I would think probably around our birthday time, in about October, is when they've been coming out. So look for that in the fall, and it's likely we'll have another one, I hope, because they really are neat and a lot of fun. I hope this has been helpful for you again, and I hope that you have many more creative moments. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.